Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Wednesday, Facebook Live day. Let me pull this up on the computer and I'll see who's watching and then we will get rolling. I have a special guest in the studio tonight. My mother-in-law, Patsy Palmer, is here. We're having a couple of days of just us time, so that's exciting. And the dog is all amped up about life right now, so if you hear lots of noises, we got a lot going on. So happy Wednesday, everybody. And I don't want to hear myself again. So comment, tell me you're here. That's important so that I know you're here. We are going to be playing with embossing paste. So I'm going to show you guys some of the new masks that are in the catalog. And we can talk a little bit about the how to use embossing paste, what to do with it. Patsy Palmer, you're here. You're here, but you're here. She's everywhere. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Crystal. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about embossing paste and the couple different kinds we have and kind of what we've got going on. And then I'm gonna show you the new set of masks and a few other things you can do with it. And then we're gonna make a simple card. So let me turn this down. Let's see, hello everybody. No, not a Halloween mask. Oh good, my husband's on board his airplane. That's good, yay, all right. So let's make sure you guys are seeing everything okay. All right, get us all level and adjusted and I feel like it's pretty far over. All right, weird. Let's go this way. I was like, let's go this way. All right, there we go. Okay, can you tell us how to revive embossing paste? Oh, mine is getting too dry. So that's a good question, Crystal. So when you have embossing paste, you don't want to open it until you're ready to use it. And you could add a re-inker. That would help it a little bit. Once you open it, that's pretty much game over. Like now it's going to start to dry. So I would recommend, because we don't quite know the consistency of it, that's definitely something that you're going to want to be careful. Like just water won't do anything. It's possible that you could add some re-inker to it and you could get it to, you know, but then at that point you've kind of committed that now that whole pot is going to be whatever color it is. This is the shimmery white embossing paste. I always love a little extra sheen that doesn't give off, right? You guys know that, like Wink Stella. So I just opened this up. This is exciting. I usually leave the seal, like this piece on, when I'm gonna go and close it, because now I've got like extra, you know, seal on here. You could also maybe put like a piece of saran wrap or something on here and then screw it tight again to keep it from drying out. A little goes a long way. Hopefully you guys know that, but we'll kind of play with those. The other embossing paste we have right now is just a matte finish embossing paste. It is just white and matte. So I've got a couple of the embossing masks here, the decorative masks. So this is the new set, the Plenty of Patterns decorative masks. So this is the brand new set that just came out and it matches and coordinates with a lot of our new DSP. So this pattern coordinates with the DSP from Symmetry, the Symmetry one. This actually just coordinates with nothing, but I kept seeing this on a lot of projects and was like, where is everybody getting this really cool abstract artwork from? And so a lot of people have been using this decorative mask. I've seen a lot of like artisan design team people using it. It's really cool. And so I'm not gonna use it today, but I've got some ideas for things I want to do with it. And then this one is kind of a fishtail pattern, right? It kind of reminds me of like mermaid or fish scales. And this you'll see in the patterned paper that is our hostess benefit right now. So that's evocative of that. And then there's this really cool, it has 4 different medallion pieces. And this is actually the one I'm going to use today. So I'm gonna grab one more tool that I need, which is some tape. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of masking tape. I would prefer painter's tape, but my child stole it, so you know, there's that. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it on my clothing. You don't have to see that part, but I'm taking pieces and I'm putting it on my clothing to kind of dull it down so it doesn't tear my paper. Even with painter's tape, I do the same thing, just because I want it to pick up some of the lint from my clothing and I don't want to tear my paper. And then I've just got a scrap piece of white here, and we're gonna pick one of these medallions. I think I'm gonna pick this really cool one here. And so you'll see that, you know, my piece is bigger than this, right? So what I wanna do is I'm gonna line it up. I'm gonna stamp a sentiment on the bottom part of this, but I kinda wanna make sure it's centered pretty well. So I'm gonna line that up, and then I'm gonna get a piece and I'm gonna cover, just in case I get a little crazy with the embossing paste here. Just gonna cover that. I'm gonna kind of tape that down too. Now, the good thing is it's also kind of holding it all in place, right? So a little bit of tape never hurt anybody on this. All right, now this is pretty by itself. The shimmer's pretty, but I'm gonna add some color to it. And I'm matching, I wanna bring this in. I've got some of this symmetry paper, and I wanna kind of bring in some of those colors. Now, the other thing you'll need is a set of the palette knives. You get a set of 3. And the masks are really cheap. They're like $5. The knives are maybe 10, maybe even cheaper. Apparently I keep the paper that it comes with. But you get 3 different palette knives to use. And you could use any of these. I prefer this one. I don't know why, because they all do the same thing, right? They're all, I don't find that there's much of a difference between the 3, but anyway. All right, so we're going to scrape, I like using all the embossing paste. So we're gonna scrape this off the lid because I wanna be a good steward of my resources. So I'm gonna get all that off of there. I'm also the kid that licks the Nutella jar. And then I'm gonna get a little bit more. Probably don't need as much as I just got. Okay, I think that's probably enough. And then I'm gonna get some Just Jade, maybe, re-inker, or Flirty Flamingo, whatever I can locate fastest. Flirty Flamingo it is. So I'm just gonna get, and I'm gonna add a drop. I'm gonna start with a drop because I don't know how far that's gonna go. And I wanna make sure that I don't get this like too, you know, hot pink looking, which it's looking pretty hot pink. All right, that is pretty, it's pretty wild. All right, looks like watermelon sugar or something. Crusty watermelon sugar. All right, so we're just gonna put that on there, and we're gonna work that, and we're just gonna work it, and we're gonna push it. And I go one direction, and then I try to go the other direction. It is messy. And I've got plenty. There's plenty still on the spatula, right? You can see I could probably do another project with this, right? Like I've got plenty left. And I could, you know, try to rescue that. If I was being tidy, I probably would have not, I would have taped there, but you know me, I'm messier than the average bear. All right, so lid for this. Yes, there, good. All right. And then I just want to make sure it's nice, and I don't like mine too bumpy, so I'm just flattening it all out, making sure I got all the crevices. I like to go one way and then the other. And then you don't have to wait for this to dry. You can start to peel this up now. So I'm gonna tear this off, hopefully not tearing. This masking tape is definitely stronger than my painter's tape. I'll have to discuss that with Marianne when she gets back into town. So I would definitely recommend using painter's tape. Like, I'm not a huge fan of using masking tape, but it is what it is. She swears she never had it, but I know she had it before we moved. I realized I could just go buy another thing of painter's tape, but I had one roll. I think I've been using the same roll of painter's tape for the last like 7 years of crafting, so I don't use it that often, but little goes a long way. All right, so now we're gonna peel this off and hopefully, ooh, ta-da! Nice. So we're gonna wash this just with soap and water in the sink. That's a really easy cleanup. And then I got a little bit on the edge here and I'm gonna try to kind of rub that off. But hopefully you can see the shininess and the pretty, right? So, Patsy, are you gonna be my
assistant?
Are you my assistant? All right,
Yep.
she's gonna wash. So super pretty, super shiny. All right, so now since I did that, I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna give it a second, let it get tacky. It's probably already tacky. We can kind of test in our sample over here, but I'm also gonna get our stamp set and we're gonna stamp an image. So I'm gonna use Biggest Wish, which is a really fun stamp set that has, you can say, thanks friend, or hello friend, thanks friend, and the other way. So it has the same 5 words that you can combine, and then the same 5 words, right? So you can mix and match. So here we go. And there's different ways that you can do this. I'm gonna do thanks and friend, maybe. And I'm gonna pick out 2 of the other colors that are in that paper. So I'm gonna pick out the Night of Navy and the Just Jade. All right, and then we got a couple of blocks here. That one's not gonna fit. All right. So I've got this really cool piece and I'm going to stamp the friend down below in Just Jade. Okay. I think we need to do a little sample stamping on that one. All right. Cute. Friend. And then we're going to do the darker color. And hopefully this will come out. I think I want to go... Most people, I think they've just been doing it here. Yeah, right on top. Which is kind of wild. Yay! Thanks, friend. All right, so there we go. Awesome, all clean. Lovely, thank you, assistant.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate that. Would you like to clear some more watermelon sugar? Say hello. And then we're gonna put this on here. This is gonna be super cute. So, I mean, this is a really fun way to build a lot of interest with the embossing paste. You can do the embossing paste in white on colored cardstock, right? So on this one, I just did it down the side and then I'm gonna build a panel here, right? But this has a lot of interest as well. So you don't have to cover the whole, sheet with it. And then we're going to get a card base, hopefully, somewhere. And we're gonna mount this. So, I mean, this is definitely not, rocket science, but there are other things that you can do with the masks as well. So you could use the masks and the sponge daubers. You could use the masks and the new sponge brushes. So you have a lot of choice as to, how you want to apply color. You can also use the masks with a spritzer. So you can use one of our aqua spritzers and you can spritz color on and then lift the mask up. That's fun. It's a little bit messier. It's a little less controlled, than this. You can also, you know, I mean, any way that you can apply color, you can use a mask. So, you know, think of it as like the old school, you know, stencils, right? That we used to have, and we'd stencil like the walls and the wallpaper, you know, we'd stencil borders. Please tell me you stenciled a border on some room in your life. And so it's really easy, you know, to do that. And then with this paper, this is some of the paper that's on sale, right? This is that Sweet Symmetry paper. And you're gonna see this card's gonna come together super fast because we're just gonna get some glue, some adhesive. I have it right side up, that would be helpful. And I'm just gonna get that. And we're gonna put that on the front of the card and hopefully center it pretty well. And then make sure we don't pull that guy down. So we've got our card and our card base, and we've got our paper. And now we're gonna flip this over. Now I'm not 100% sure that it's dry, so I'm just gonna like carefully adhere the pieces. Oh yeah, thanks, awesome. Was that hard to clean off?
No, it's very easy.
There we go.
With
Yeah.
soap.
With soap, okay.
Yeah.
So you just used a little bit of Dawn soap?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, I think that, you know, you could probably get it off without, but this stuff's pretty, it's like concrete, you know, it's thick. All right,
I
so
like the shimmer.
yeah, I like the shimmery one too. Like this has a lot of interest. And we're just gonna mount that right in the middle, and ta-da! Your card is done. So, inspired, Pat Morris says, yay! That's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
So don't forget, you know, the power of a simple card, right? There's no embellishments on this, and because it's got the shimmery embossing paste, I feel it needs nothing. I don't feel the need to do much else. It's got a nice, strong designer series paper on it. And then you've got, you know, a really nice sentiment. So I'm going to show you one of the other cards that I got in a swap. So you could do thanks friend, but you can also do thanks. So this is one of the cards that I was looking at because I got excited. I got this as a swap. And, you know, yes, it features the tailored tag, but of course they don't have the wow of the, you know, the really cool mask. But yeah, and then our old masks are still available as well. So the original set of basic pattern masks, just so you can see those, it has a tree. So it has like a set of like trees, like a forest, right? So almost like birch trees. And then it has a set of this like almost like a paisley type pattern. And then it has this sort of like, I don't know, wheat sheaf type pattern. You can see it really well in the white. I'll show this one. So this is kind of like a paisley kind of print. And then this one, which is the trees, which I've used this one a lot. This is great for spooky Halloween cards, Christmas cards. This is a great, you know, winter woods type look. And then there's polka dots, which is, you know, a very standard pattern that everybody needs. So these are a lot of fun. These masks are not expensive. They're durable. I've used this one a lot, and it has a lot of crazy pieces, and you can see it stood, you know, the test of time really well. And so they're durable, they're useful, they're not expensive, and you can use them with a lot of the tools that you already have. You don't necessarily have to use them with embossing paste. But then the new ones are really fun, and I think add an extra feature, you know, and some extra patterns. And this one's definitely cool and geometric. And when I was looking at some cards that were made with this, I thought they were actually like taping lines out or gessoing something. I could not figure out how they were. I had no clue. I had actually bought these and just had not opened them and had no clue that this pattern was in there. So that's when I opened them and I was like, oh, that's how they're making that pattern. So I thought that was pretty neat. So yay. Thanks for joining today. Don't forget, we have Christmas in July card class. I have a hostess code running for this month. And let me actually, oh dear, let me pull it up real quick because I had not written it down and I wanted to make sure that I wrote it down for you guys. The hostess code for this month, and you have until Friday to either place an order or pay me $15 for the Christmas in July card class. But the hostess code for this month, let me get a sticky note because then I can write it my way and flip it your way. ZJYMJJ23. It's the weirdest one ever, and that is a Z. So ZJYMJJ23 is the, I'll move that down so that you can see that. That's the host code for this month. And you have until Friday to get included in the Christmas in July card class. I sneak peeked some of that this last week on the Facebook page and the Instagram, so hopefully you saw that. And I hope to have lots of you joining us for the Christmas card class. We'll have some Christmas music, and it'll be a lot of fun. I've got some fun projects planned. So let me know if you've got questions. Thanks for hopping in. And Crystal, let me know if that works for if you add some re-inker to it. Maybe it'll revive it. So, hey, Jill. Do you know how many times you can use the mask before it needs to be washed? Oh. So, Crystal, that's a good question. So, I wash my mask between each use. Because I find that sometimes I get embossing paste on the bottom side of the mask. And then if I do that, then it rubs off onto the next project. And so I wash my mask in between every use, which is probably a little crazy. If you're using colored, if you're just doing like white on white, I think it's probably okay. But if you're doing white on color or color on white, then you need to probably clean it between each one. I've also just had a wipey here and I've wiped it off. So you can use like a baby wipe or something. And then getting dried embossing paste off of a mask. So you might have seen that one that looks a little, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell on camera probably, but this one's definitely got some buildup. I would say soak it like in a pan with like some hot water and some Dawn, and see if you can take a little like loofah or something and kind of scrub it off. And it should get most of it off. There's a little bit of residue on here and you can see a little bit of it. But this is my most used mask and it still looks like it's in okay shape. It'll function, you know, so yeah, good questions, Crystal. So let me know if adding a little bit of, you know, re-inker kind of helps revive it. I don't think adding alcohol would be wise because I don't think it's alcohol based. I need to look and see what the ingredients are, but I don't think it's alcohol based. So let's see, store in a cool, dry place. Yes. Measured by volume, not by weight. That is true. Drying time varies. Replace the lid immediately. Keep out of extreme temperatures and direct sunlight. Warm soapy water. Yeah, and then you can tint it with ink refills. So it doesn't really say what it's made of, which is interesting. So, but all right, well, good questions, y'all. And let me know if you've got any others, but thanks for joining. Hope you're inspired. And don't forget about this designer series paper sale. Like all these packs of paper are under $10, which is really awesome. And then make sure that you just tighten that lid nice and tight, so that it doesn't dry out. So pretend like it's a soda and you don't want it to go flat, right? Nice and tight. So, all right, bye y'all. See you later. Have a good night.